The theme for September, Pieces into Peace. Topic for today, Waking Up to Oneness. Deepak Chopra wrote in 7 Essential Habits for Peace. At the deepest level, there is infinite peace, undisturbed by the play of opposites and the clash of darkness versus light. Ernest Holmes shares this wisdom. Peace comes from a sense of union with the whole. Confusion comes from a sense of separation. And Holmes reminds us, no matter how confused we are, if we will get by ourselves long enough and think peace, we will become peaceful. Peace is the divine reality at the heart of God. So let's affirm to each other. So affirm to the delightful being next to you. You can repeat after me. The divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you. Beautiful. Thank you. And now I welcome Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnston up. Peace.
Thank you, Jenny. Oh, I don't need to stand up here, do I?
And you have your wireless on.
Oh. That's right.
She partied a little hard last night with Helen's get-together. I don't think she's recovered yet.
Now, Danny, there we go. All right. I think I'm going to take this out. There's a big glare on my paper today for some reason. Peace, peace, peace. Waking up to oneness. Have you noticed that when you hook in to what's going on in the media, or when someone triggers a reaction in you, you slip into what's called the trance of separation. Get caught in that trance, and it's a trance. Thinking everything is separate, and it's me against them, and all of that stuff that goes through our minds, that confusion, that worry, and all of the other feelings that go along with it. Some have equated it to sleepwalking through life because the unconscious mind is in charge instead of the conscious mind with all of the patterns of separation. So how good it is to know, and this is why I love the spiritual teaching, and I've been involved in it for 35 years, almost 35 years, is that this teaching is grounded and rooted in one life, one source. And the beautiful thing is that we can shift from that trance of separation. We can make that shift and get into alignment with the peace that is at the center of our being, because our core, our center, our essence, who we are in truth is infinite peace. Infinite peace, not just a little peace, but infinite peace, because we're talking about the all that is our source. So we have that opportunity to make that big dive. Any moment we can do that. And Jesus put it so beautifully when he said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what we do when we make the shift. We move into that place of shifting from the trance of separation into the truth of wholeness and oneness. So this month's theme then is designed to help us rise in not only personal peace, in the personal experience of peace, it helps us to rise in the experience of peace with others, peace in community, and also peace on the planet. Peace on the planet. And the principle that we are referring to today is as within, so without. That as we cultivate a certain atmosphere within, as we tap into that truth of our being, that well of peace, that our world must show up as peace, because that is how it works. So we each can be a vital participant in the demonstration of peace, not only in our personal world, but in the greater whole. And we can do this by practicing seeing people and all else as the one life. And as we do that, we are practicing alchemy. We are transmuting as we see the divine in others, just as we did with Anna supporting us with that's the namaste, of course, many of us know that. As we do that, we are transmuting energy from that trance of separation into that awareness of peace. So today we're going to be talking about transmuting confusion, transmuting that trance of separation through namaste, through pausing for peace, and through choosing peace. So here's the thing about the trance of separation, and I'm sure you've noticed this, is it puts us in the mode of protection. When we think that there are others out there who can take our good, right? When those people out there, they're going to take my good, and so I better get myself in defense mode. I better defend myself. Anybody feel that way sometimes? I certainly have. And so the point is then that we have an opportunity through this beautiful practice called namaste, whether we do it out loud or silently in our own minds when we greet someone, we have an opportunity to transmute that trance into and awaken. Our topic is waking up to oneness, and wake up to oneness. And so let's just notice where you are right now, how you're feeling. Just tune in for a moment. Just breathe and tune in. Any places there might be tension or something like that. And then close your eyes and breathe. Some nice, deep, cleansing breaths. And drop down into your heart. Take that deep dive into that source of peace in the heart. Or any other place where you can dive within you, whatever that is for you, that signal to dive into that well, that infinite well of peace, and bathe in that peace. Swim in that peace, whatever it is that you like to do. I'm just thinking of a nice hot bath, just bathing in that peace. Feeling it completely, letting it inform every single cell of your body temple. Ah, yes. And breathe. Remember to breathe. Relaxing all of the muscles. If there's anything that's tight, just breathe into that. Breathe the peace into that part of your body. Feel your feet fully grounded. Just feel that energy of peace flowing through you, up through your feet, up through your body, through the top of your head like a big fountain. And feel that peace coming down through your crown and down through the body temple and down into the ground. Fully anchored in peace, whatever color peace looks like to you. For me, it's a blue. Might be white for you, or golden, or whatever color. And so as we understand that we are that peace can shine through our hearts, through our minds, through every aspect of our being, out through our eyes. And now open your eyes very gently and look to someone next to you. Put your hands in Namaste and say to them, "The divine in me honors the divine in you." Now find somebody else, find another person. Okay? One more person, find one more person that you haven't namaste'd with, even if you have to get up and... Now, close your eyes again and feel. Ooh, I just got bumps. I can feel all kinds of energy coursing through me. Notice how we just transmuted, and there was a lot of love and, camaraderie here already, but just notice how much higher the vibration is. It's palpable. It's noticeable. We are powerful transmuters of that trance of separation. We can do this simply by turning within or whenever we come upon someone, even just think, the divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you. So that's the practice of Namaste. And of course in other countries in the world, that is their regular practice of greeting, right? Ami? Yeah. So there's power in that. There's great power, transmuting power in that, waking up to oneness. So the next thing I wanted to speak about was pausing for peace. And I'm going to use this beautiful quote from Viktor Frankl. He said, "Between the stimulus and the response, there is a space in which lies our freedom and the power to choose our responses. Our response lies in our growth. In our response lies our growth and freedom." I'm going to read it one more time. "Between the stimulus and the response, there is a space in which lies our freedom and the power to choose our responses. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." So we may not even necessarily notice that, but the beautiful thing about practicing meditation is that it awakens us to that space, that there actually is a space where we can pause for a moment when we notice we're reacting. We can pause and breathe and choose a new response, choose maybe a higher response than we normally would have. So in that space, and here's the thing, an entire story can be created about what that person said, what that situation is, right? A whole entire story you can come up with of what that means. You know, we are meaning-making machines. Repeat after me. I am a meaning-making machine. We're meaning-making machines. And so that's why you can have a situation happen and you have different people have different reactions or responses to it, because each one of us is making up a story about what something means. There's great power in understanding that, because that's what the pause for peace is. It's an opportunity to slow down, breathe, and notice the story that we're telling ourselves. And so there are two ways to approach this. The first is to just say to myself, the story I'm telling myself is, and say what the story is. Is it true? That's a little Byron Katie thrown in there too. Little Brene Brown, a little Byron Katie. Because Brene Brown was big on this, the story I'm telling myself is. And then we can realize there's so many different ways I can tell the story. I can say it's this way, and I can say it's that way, and I can say it's another way, and then we become aware that we are meaning-making machines. We can give it whatever meaning we want. And so is the meaning that I'm giving it serving me, and is it creating more peace and harmony, or is it putting me back in that trance of separation? So number two, we can take it a step further. I can check the accuracy of my story by talking to the person, if I feel comfortable talking to the person about the story I'm telling myself. So I can say to the person, the story I'm telling myself is that how you, and then you can ask the person, is that accurate from your perspective? And most likely they'll say no, not my perspective at all. And then you have a chance to reach some mutual understanding. So it's a really powerful way to handle conflict and challenging situations. I love this, and I intend to use it more and more. So I'm going to give an example of a situation where a lot of storytelling was taking place. In the early days of our marriage, we're in quite nice harmony now. In the early stages of our marriage, and Dan, I got permission from Dan, there was a lot of you should and he should and she should, and there was a lot of shoulds going on about how we're supposed to be in this marriage. So one of them was that my mother was the only one that cooked dinner. And so I thought I should be the one to cook the dinner. And Dan loved cooking dinner, and I didn't know this at the time, but he loved cooking dinner. It was a way that he felt like he was in service, and so on and so forth. Well, we had these arguments going back and forth, and he would even say to me, "But you don't even like to make dinner." And I said, "Yeah, but it's my job to do." It's like ridiculous arguments going on and on. And we finally went to marriage counseling and got some support and learned about love languages and stuff like that. So the bottom line is that I'm now very much enjoying that Dan loves to make dinner so that I can do other things. And the truth is he has a lot more interest in it, and has from the very beginning than I have. I would rather do other things. So, it's worked out perfectly. But the shoulds, those stories that we tell ourselves, create a lot of conflict. So a great way to check it out then is the story I'm telling myself is it true? And the thing that Byron Katie says so clearly, if you're feeling anything other than peace, joy, and love, then it's not true. It's a story that we've made up. Choosing peace is the next one. Insanity has been defined as doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And our egos love to be right. Yeah? Our egos love to be right. And that's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But if our egos are always wanting to be right, how well does that work in relationship? What does that do to your relationships if you have to be right? Separation? Yeah. So, what we can do instead of choosing our battles, we can choose peace. I can choose peace instead of this. That's one of the quotes from A Course in Miracles. I can choose peace instead of this. So let's go back to Ernest Holmes just to kind of wrap this up. Confusion, I'm going to swap around what he said and do the confusion first. Confusion comes from what? A sense of separation. And peace comes from a sense of oneness. Yes. Union with the whole, oneness. So when we intentionally wake up from the trance of separation, we wake up to oneness. We wake up to peace. And we can do that through namaste, seeing the divine not only in each other, but in all life. We transmute energy that way. We can practice the pause for peace. The story I am telling myself is it true? We can also give the meaning that we want that feels really good. We may as well, since we're making it all up anyway. Right? And we can choose peace. We can choose peace. And in so doing, we have made the world a whole lot more peaceful. We are amazingly powerful beings. Remember that. Remember who you are this week, and remember to choose peace. Namaste, my friends.
I'd like to invite the band up.